18 black celebrities whose bodies were found long after they died. Michael K. Williams, Johnny Kemp, and Albert Ayler are names associated with shocking, unexpected departures that left the world in silence just as their spotlights faded. You will be moved to hear their stories, tales of profound quietude where the boundary between fame and loneliness became thinner than ever. We are our memory. Vault your companions in this video. This content is designed to be a gentle presence, perfect for your quiet moments of rest, a shared family meal, or while attending to light chores around the house. Every piece of information has been carefully researched and distilled by the Our Memory Vault team from multiple sources. However, knowledge is infinite. If you have any details you would like to contribute, please do not hesitate to leave a comment below so we can improve every day. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and turn on notifications to be the first to catch our latest videos. Now, let us begin with the first of our stories. Michael K. Williams. For audiences who appreciate deep character-driven television dramas, this artist's distinctive face and iconic scar became an unforgettable symbol. He possessed a natural, innate ability to breathe soul into complex characters, transforming roles from society's margins into deeply human works of art. The peak of his career was defined by classic performances where he brilliantly portrayed the internal struggle between good and evil. Mature audiences always found a deep sense of empathy in his work, as his acting style was never showy. It went straight to the heart, capturing the full spectrum of human fate. Yet the life behind the screen for this talented man held silent, haunting depths. On a day in the autumn of 2021, an unusual silence from his private apartment in New York raised concerns among his loved ones and colleagues. After several days of no contact and his absence from important media events, his nephew decided to check on him and with a heavy heart discovered that he had already departed this world. The quiet passing of such a major star in the heart of a bustling metropolis left a profound void in the world of cinema. From the perspective of Our Memory Vault, the story of this artist is a clear testament to the often cruel rules of the entertainment world. Behind the applause and the brilliant stage lights, public figures sometimes face a hollow loneliness that not everyone can comprehend. We believe that care and family connections are the most important anchors, things that neither fame nor fortune can ever replace. His artistic legacy will endure, but his story also serves as a reminder for us to always cherish those around us before it is too late. Behind the stage lights, there are sometimes silences that few would expect. Join Our Memory Vault as we continue our journey to explore the moving stories hidden behind the glamour of the figures that follow. Johnny Kemp. The rhythmic melodies of 1980s music are undoubtedly a beautiful part of the memories for the mature generation. This talented R&B artist was the voice behind timeless hits that once energized dance floors and radio waves across the globe. With a powerful voice and a free-spirited performance style, he helped shape a new wave of music, bringing positive energy to millions of listeners. Whenever his tunes play, it is not just music. It is a whole sky of nostalgia for the vibrant youth that so many of us shared. The life journey of this legendary singer came to an incredibly sudden end during a tour in 2015. According to his work schedule, he was expected to appear on a luxury cruise ship in the Caribbean to perform for his fans. However, his unexplained absence from the port began a series of desperate search days for his family. Many days later, local residents in the nearby coastal area were heartbroken to discover that the dapper man who once commanded the stage had forever rested with the deep blue ocean. For the Our Memory Vault team, his passing feels like a mournful note suddenly interrupting a symphony that was reaching its crescendo. We believe that the greatest value of an artist lies not in how they leave, but in the happy memories they leave behind for the world. No matter how much time passes, his songs will always remain a sacred piece in the memory box of our generation. This story urges us to contemplate the impermanence of life and the importance of preserving beautiful spiritual values. Albert Ayler. In the flow of classic jazz music, there are creative personalities so immense that they are willing to break all conventional rules to search for a new language of art. This saxophone master was exactly such a pioneer, a genius who transformed the sound of his horn into deeply moving spiritual cries. His music was not for the masses. It required experience and a soul mature enough to feel the absolute freedom in every note. His contemporaries, including the greatest legends of the genre, all tipped their hats in respect to his artistic philosophy that was so far ahead of its time. In the final months of 1970, this man with a pure artist's soul suddenly vanished from the bustling city of New York. No goodbye, no trail left behind. He completely disappeared into thin air, leaving the music community in utter bewilderment. For 20 long, agonizing days, the jazz-loving community lived in confusion and prayer. Finally, the miracle did not happen when he was found by the calm East River near Brooklyn. The brilliant artist had chosen to end his earthly journey while still at such a young age. Our Memory Vault's personal perspective on his life is one of deep respect for those who paved the way. Geniuses often carry an immense psychological burden when their creations are not yet fully understood by contemporary society. We believe that the solitude in art is one of the most grueling challenges that pioneers must endure. Even though his life had a sad ending, his proud saxophone will forever be a lighthouse, shining for generations of artists to come. The departure of legends always leaves the living with many questions and deep regrets. We will continue our journey to better understand the lives that quietly came to a full stop, leaving us with such melancholy. Marsha P. Johnson. The history of popular culture always marks the exceptional individuals who spent their entire lives fighting for fairness and the rights of the marginalized. This woman, with her radiant smile and handmade flower crowns, became an immortal symbol of compassion in New York. She was not just an active campaigner, she was a spiritual pillar, a true mother to countless young people lost in the tides of life. Her presence anywhere brought warmth, faith, and courage to the community around her. However, that life of selfless devotion had a melancholic final chapter in the summer of 1992, right after a major celebration concluded. The sudden disappearance of someone who was always on the front lines made the community extremely anxious, leading them to organize their own searches. After many days of waiting for news, their hopes were completely shattered when she was found in the Hudson River. The departure of an icon of compassion in such obscure circumstances at that time left many major questions that have yet to be satisfactorily answered. According to our Memory Vault's analysis, this is one of the most painful losses, reflecting the profound vulnerability of those who do social work. Someone who spent their life protecting others ultimately faced the end in a solitude where no one was by her side. We believe that the true value she left behind is the fire of compassion ignited in the hearts of millions. Our Memory Vault hopes the audience will remember her as an angel of love, rising above all the adversities of fate. Vincent Jackson. The career of a top-tier athlete is always a source of pride and a great inspiration to the public, especially to those who value effort and a resilient will. This legendary football star was once the terror of every defense in the most prestigious league on the planet, thanks to his ideal physique and sharp tactical mind. After retiring, he chose not to rest, but continued to contribute to society through personal charities supporting military families. The image of a strong, successful, and kind-hearted man was deeply etched in the minds of his fans. Yet the invisible pressures of life after the peak created a heartbreaking scenario in early 2021. His family had to issue a missing person notice after being unable to reach him for several days. Authorities later located him at a local hotel and conducted a safety check. It seemed everything was settled, but just a few days later, hotel staff were stunned to discover that he had passed away quietly in that very room days prior without anyone knowing. From our Memory Vault's professional perspective, this story touches on an extremely painful social issue: the mental health of former sports stars. When the roar of the stadium fades, adapting to everyday life is a silent and fierce battle. We realize that outward strength is sometimes just a shell covering deep wounds within. Through this video, our memory vault hopes the community will have a more understanding and compassionate view of the shadows behind the sports heroes. Marion Barber III. When mentioning American football, one cannot fail to mention the mighty Warriors who always gave their all on the field. And this brilliant former star of the Dallas Cowboys was a magnificent icon. Throughout the peak years of his career, he was affectionately nicknamed by fans for his passionate play style, always ready to sacrifice himself for the team's colors. For sports enthusiasts, the image of a muscular man always pushing forward regardless of any resistance became an endless inspiration of perseverance. However, behind the solid sports armor and imposing appearance, he was a man with a warm, quiet heart, who always treated those around him with gentleness in daily life. In the period after retiring from professional competition, the life of this sports star gradually shrank into an incomprehensible silence. He cut off most contacts with the outside world, refusing gatherings with friends and retreating into his private space. In the early days of June 2022, this silence peaked when neighbors discovered a water leak coming from his apartment into the hallway. When authorities decided to intervene and entered, they witnessed a sorrowful truth. The famous former player had breathed his last breath days prior, completely alone without anyone nearby to offer a helping hand. Standing before this heartbreaking story, the Our Memory Vault team cannot help but reflect on the harshness of the transition after glorious peaks. We believe that when the roaring cheers of the stadium fade, the psychological void left in the souls of former athletes is an incredibly vast, invisible abyss. That someone once celebrated by tens of thousands had to face their final moments in absolute silence is a painful paradox of human existence. His passing is a deep reminder to all of us about the need to care for and maintain emotional connections with loved ones, especially those who choose a reclusive life. Lorenzen Wright. To the people of Memphis, this man was not merely an outstanding basketball player competing in the most prestigious league on the planet. He was a distinguished son of the hometown. Possessing superior height and natural talent, he dedicated his youth to the Orange Ball, bringing boundless pride to local sports fans. Not stopping at individual achievements on the court, he also spent a great deal of time and dedication participating in charity work, inspiring countless youths in difficult circumstances. His friendliness, down-to-earth smile, and open heart helped him build a firm monument in the hearts of every citizen where he was born and raised. Yet on a day in July 2010, a storm shook a peaceful city when their hero suddenly went missing without a trace. After leaving his ex-wife's house, all forms of contact with him were completely severed, pushing his family and fans into a state of extreme panic. The peak of anxiety was when authorities revealed a desperate distress call from his phone number, but it was interrupted midway without being able to pinpoint the exact location. It took 10 long, grueling days of desperate searching until the body of the former star was discovered, hidden deep in a desolate forest on the outskirts of the city. From Our Memory Vault's perspective, that 10-day waiting period was the most terrible mental torture for those left behind. We believe that the greatest pain lies not just in losing a loved one, but in the helplessness of not knowing where they are or what they went through in the final moments of life. Although years later, justice was served to restore fairness for him, the emotional wounds of his family and the community of fans in Memphis will never fully heal. Through this, we want to convey a message about cherishing every peaceful moment in the present, because life always contains unforeseen turns. Eddie Griffin. Starting his career as one of the brightest young talents in American basketball, this young man carried the expectations of experts and fans alike on his shoulders. With long arms, excellent defensive skills, and powerful dunks, he was once considered a rare gem capable of changing the outcome of any game. In his 20s, when many peers were still struggling to find their direction, he already held prestigious contracts, stepping into the elite circle of professional sports. His career in the early years was like a glorious dream that any sports enthusiast would dream of experiencing once in a lifetime. However, the enormous pressure from fame that came too soon gradually eroded the mind of a young man still too inexperienced in life and self-control. The difficulties in balancing emotions pushed him into a downward spiral of personal mistakes, causing his peak career to quickly slip out of reach while still at a young age. The true tragedy struck on an August night in 2007 when his car collided seriously with a freight train. Due to the severity of the accident, authorities could not identify him immediately. The former star had to lie under the name John Doe for many days until dental records confirmed the painful truth. Our Memory Vault's personal perspective when learning about this life is one of infinite sorrow for the fragility of youth before the temptations and pressures of the spotlight. We believe that natural talent is a gift of creation, but to preserve and develop it requires a firm metal and a supportive psychological environment. That a name once resounding in arenas had to wait many days to be identified is a sad summary of human connection in the entertainment world. His story reminds parents and educators of the importance of nurturing the soul before honing skills for the younger generation. Naya Rivera. For millions of television viewers worldwide, especially those who love musical arts, this talented actress and singer was a brilliant piece of youth. Through her breakthrough role in a hit high school musical series, she broke countless barriers of social prejudice, becoming a strong representative voice for marginalized communities. Her powerful voice, captivating confidence, and kind heart helped her win the affection of even the most difficult audiences. Above all, the brilliant achievements on her artistic path, she always proudly considered the role of a mother the most sacred and noble calling of her entire life. On a day in mid-July 2020, a peaceful boat trip on the lake with her young son forever changed the fate of the family. When the small boat was found drifting aimlessly in the vast water, the little boy was still fast asleep, safely protected, but the gentle mother's silhouette was no longer there. Millions of hearts globally held their breath, hoping and praying. Throughout the 5 days, authorities made broad search efforts. A miracle did not appear when her body was found on the 5th day, leaving a deep sorrow covering the entire entertainment industry and her fan community everywhere. Our Memory Vault views this event not merely as the loss of an artistic talent, but more nobly, it is a heroic epic about sacred motherhood. Based on the conclusions from the investigation, we were deeply moved to learn that in the moment between life and death, she used the very last bit of her strength to lift her son back onto the boat before letting go. A mother's love triumphed over even the fear of the fragile boundary of human life. Even though she is no longer present, her legacy of courage and a warm heart will forever be a lighthouse illuminating her son's path to adulthood and in the hearts of those who loved her. Lee Thompson Young, starting as a warmly loved child, star on the small screen. This handsome actor captivated audiences with his natural acting and a smile that always shone brightly. Unlike many child actors who lost themselves upon reaching adulthood, he made an incredibly spectacular transformation, continuously leaving his mark in hit detective and sports TV shows. Colleagues who worked with him all showered him with praise for his professionalism, high discipline, and a brilliant mind behind his elegant exterior. In the eyes of mature audiences, he was the ideal model of a modern young man, talented, humble, tireless in his efforts, and always maintaining a clean image untainted by noisy scandals. However, behind the perfection that everyone often saw, the soul of this talented artist was silently fighting incredibly fierce internal storms. The heartbreaking incident was discovered on an August morning in 2013 when the film crew noticed his unusual absence, a man who was always punctually on set. A hunch that something was wrong led colleagues to ask authorities to go to his home to check on his health. There, in the silence of his apartment, they sorrowfully realized he had closed the film of his life prior to that moment, leaving behind immense surprise and sorrow for those left behind. In the silence of the studio, the Our Memory Vault team reflected much on the smile that always graced the lips of this ill-fated actor. We understand that sometimes the most radiant smile is the perfect screen to hide the ultimate mental pain from the disease of depression. His lonely departure is a strong wake-up call to all of society about taking care of the mental health of loved ones. Our Memory Vault hopes that through this sad story, our audience will always take the time to care, listen, and share with those around them. Because sometimes, Just a sincere question is enough to keep a soul holding on to life. Shad Gaspard. The professional wrestling arena had witnessed countless muscular stars, but this man always held a very special place in the hearts of the audience thanks to his unique entertainment style and rare charm. Beyond the staged scripts of the ring, he was known as a true protector, a talented actor, and an incredibly exemplary father in real life. For mature audiences, he was not just a symbol of enduring physical strength, but also proof of a kind heart always ready to shield those weaker than himself. His positive energy and radiant smile always brought joy to those around him, from close colleagues to fans he encountered by chance in real life. On a weekend in mid-May 2020, a peaceful beach trip with his 10-year-old son turned into a terrifying nightmare when both were suddenly caught in a fierce rip current. In the life and death moment facing the violent waves, the great father made the ultimate decision of sacrifice, asking the rescue team to prioritize saving his little son first. That plea was also his last sentence before that large silhouette was forever covered by the vast ocean. Many long days passed in the anxious waiting of his family. The miracle did not come. His body was returned to the shore by the ocean, closing a life that was short but incredibly worth living. Looking back at this event, the Our Memory Vault team cannot help but be moved by his great paternal instinct and boundless love. We believe that the act of sacrificing himself to save his child was not just an impulsive instinct, but the crystallization of a noble character, always placing the life of those he loved above the existence of himself. This tragedy, while leaving a void that cannot be filled for his loved ones, simultaneously erected an immortal monument to sacred fatherhood. He has departed, but his legacy of courage will forever be a valuable lesson, reminding us of the extraordinary power of family affection amidst the storms of life. Christian Atsu. On the green grass of Europe's largest stadiums, this player from the Black Continent always shone with swift steps and an untiring spirit of dedication. Not possessing an overly massive physique, he still conquered millions of football fans with his humility, selfless playing style, and a gentle smile always on his lips. Off the field, he was a silent ambassador of compassion, frequently using personal income to build schools and support those in difficult circumstances back home. For longtime sports viewers, he was the embodiment of a generation of players who played with their hearts, always looking back to their roots and valuing high humanistic principles. The journey pursuing his passion for the round ball took him to a new nation, where he continued to dedicate his final years of youth to top-tier sports. No one could have expected that, right? After a brilliant night shining with the decisive goal that brought overwhelming joy to his club, a terrifying natural disaster suddenly descended. The historic earthquake in early February 2023 flattened a large area, collapsing thousands of solid structures, including the residence of the talented midfielder. For 12 long, grueling days, conflicting information about his survival appeared constantly, forcing his family and fans to undergo unimaginable mental torment until his body was removed from the ruins. Through the lens of Our Memory Vault, this tragedy is a sorrowful testament to the smallness and fragility of humans before the harsh power of Mother Nature. We believe that what makes his story even more haunting is the waiting period and desperation, a form of mental torture that no words can fully describe. However, rising above the sadness of separation, his silent contributions to the community back home continue to bloom, bringing a bright future to countless poor children. His career may have ended beneath layers upon layers of debris, but the love he sowed will forever be eternal green shoots in the hearts of global fans. Moses J. Mosley. In the colorful world of cinema, not everyone has the opportunity to step onto the pedestal of fame with flashy leading roles. But this young actor proved that dedication can turn supporting roles into something incredibly unforgettable. He was recognized by a large television audience through a hit show, exploring the post-apocalyptic theme where he excellently embodied a character with complex special effects makeup. Even without many lines, his charisma and total immersion in the character helped him gradually affirm a firm position in the sky of the seventh art. For mature audiences, his persistent effort and patience in rising from the smallest roles is a bright example of the spirit of ceaseless striving in a competitive environment full of rejection. The firm steps on his career path were suddenly stalled when his family completely lost contact with him in the early days of 2022. The absence without explanation and the inability to connect through any means created an atmosphere of extreme tension for those who loved him. After a period of tireless searching, thanks to the positioning system installed on his personal vehicle, authorities were able to pinpoint his coordinates in a quiet area in the state of Georgia. The lonely scene confirmed a painful truth. The young actor had breathed his last breath inside his own car at some point, without anyone knowing. Standing before this mysterious event, our memory vault realizes that behind the glamour of the entertainment industry, there always exist incredibly complex psychological shadows that artists must fight on their own. We are deeply troubled by the invisible pressures that may have eroded the soul of a person who always appeared optimistic and full of ambition in the eyes of the public. That a young person chose to close everything in solitude, far from the arms of family and friends, is a deep warning about the importance of maintaining tight spiritual connections. Though he had no opportunity to continue writing new pages for his career, his somber story will always remind us to delicately listen to and understand the fragile souls around us. Nathan Smith, born and raised in a family with a deep tradition in the arts, with a father who is a legendary music icon, this young man soon revealed a fierce passion for rhythmic melodies. Not relying on the shadow that was too large of his parent, he strove to train himself and build his own path as a music producer and a promising sound engineer. Audiences had witnessed many times the moment the two father and son stood together on stage, creating a beautiful intersection between two generations of artists with the same great love for art. For mature fans, he represents a generation of modern youth who dare to commit, dare to desire to express their self, and tirelessly strive to overcome the limits of themselves. The bright future picture of a young musical talent was erased in early 2026 in an incredibly sudden incident that left everyone stunned. He left his familiar living space in a state of lacking essential personal communication items, pushing his closest loved ones into a series of days living in confusion and extreme anxiety. A series of search efforts were deployed, with a fragile hope for a miracle that could bring him safely back into the arms of his family. However, after many days of weary waiting in vain, authorities discovered his body in a quiet body of water not far from where he once lived, officially extinguishing every spark of hope from those who always loved him. Through this sorrowful case, our memory vault wants to convey a profound message about the fragility of human life before the unforeseen turns in everyday life. From the perspective of a storyteller, we understand the ultimate pain of parents when facing the most tragic adversity of human life. That is, the older generation having to choke back tears to bid farewell to the following generation. That a young person with so many ambitions and plans still unfinished had to send himself into the silence of the cold water is an unfinished symphony that makes the heart sink. This sad event reminds us once again to always delicately observe and accompany the younger generation on every path, because there are voids that will forever never be filled. Ryan Singleton. Carrying the fierce longings of youth, this young man with an incredibly attractive appearance decided to leave his hometown to embark on a path of art full of thorns, but also no less splendid. Possessing a sharp, angular face, confident demeanor, and a tireless work spirit, he was expected to become a new breeze, bringing unique standards to the fashion and film industry. The companions and experts who had worked with him all highly valued his seriousness, discipline, and rare desire to learn in a young person, burning with the desire to affirm himself. For audiences who have experienced many ups and downs, his image reminds of the vibrant days of youth, ready to dedicate every passion to pursuing the great dreams of his life. The journey to conquer the peaks of fame turned into a dark and haunting detour in the summer of 2013. While moving through a desolate and remote land in the state of California, his vehicle unfortunately encountered a serious technical malfunction, forcing him to stop at a roadside rest area. From that fateful moment, the figure of the talented young model completely vanished. Not a message, not a clue was left. His family had to endure many long weeks, living in the tug-of-war between hope and extreme fear, until his incomplete remains were found in the middle of the arid desert, leaving behind mysteries that had never been unraveled. For the Our Memory Vault production team, this young man's story is one of the mysteries that leaves the most heavy psychological voids for the information recipient. We believe that the harshness of the wild nature, combined with the unpredictable risks of long trips, created an incredibly sorrowful tragedy, stealing the future of a life on the verge of shining. Standing before the terrifying and vast silence of the desert, we realize how fragile human presence truly is. No matter what the final outcome might be, his permanent absence is still an irreparable loss for his family, while also being a strong wake-up call about always equipping safety skills and keeping close contact on every journey. Boyega Odubanjo. In the world of modern poetry, this young artist had soon affirmed his position as a powerful voice, rich in suggestion and deeply imbued with reflections on identity as well as human memory. His verses were not just words on paper, but a mirror reflecting community life about the historical silences often forgotten in the rushed flow of the era. For mature audiences, his erudition, refined choice of words, and sensitive soul are proof of a new generation of intellectuals who know how to value and preserve spiritual heritage. He did not just write to be read. He wrote to evoke empathy, connecting similar souls amidst a society that is increasingly becoming distant. Amidst the time his talent was on the rise, an incident no one could expect happened on a night attending an art festival in Northamptonshire in the summer of 2023. After finishing the exchange and being seen for the last time at dawn, he suddenly vanished mysteriously, leaving behind no trace for friends and relatives. The entire literary community simultaneously raised their voices to search, turning the following days into a race against time full of longing. Regrettably, the journey to find the solution for that disappearance ended in absolute silence when the body of the young poet was discovered by the search force, leaving infinite sorrow for the literary lovers. The Our Memory Vault team feels a melancholy sadness when contemplating the life of this poet. There is a strange and haunting connection between the very works he painstakingly wrote with the final fate of himself. That someone who spent his whole life searching for words for the pains being forgotten had to close his journey in the silence of nothingness is a valuable lesson about the finiteness of human life. We value the spiritual worth he left behind through poems published after he passed, viewing that as a precious heritage, reminding posterity of the power of language in rising above adversity and oblivion. Speaker knockers. In the digital era, not a few young talents have personally defined new musical trends without needing the sponsorship of any major record label. And this rapper is a typical example of limitless creativity. He skillfully combined catchy melodies with incredibly realistic everyday stories, creating a unique style of music easy to enter the heart of people and quickly spread across online platforms. For fans belonging to many generations, his self-reliance, tireless passion, and professional working spirit from a very young age became an inspiration for those who are desiring to affirm their personal self amidst a society full of competition. However, on a day in early March 2014, the musical pulse that was on the rise strongly was suddenly interrupted regrettably. After a short period of being unable to contact the male artist, his family and fan community fell into a state of extreme confusion when no one knew where he was. The truth was exposed in the private space of the very house he was living in. He had quietly bid farewell to the world in solitude, right in the place that he once considered the most peaceful place to create. The sudden departure of a talent at an age full of life force caused the media and public to raise many questions about the balance between everyday life and the pressure of fame. For Our Memory Vault, the story of this young rapper is a gentle but poignant reminder of the value of peace in the soul. We believe that fame can come from online listening counts, from the admiration of millions of people. But true peace lies in the very way we face ourselves every day. That he left the world while still so young, while musical plans were still being nurtured, is a sad, silent note in the overall picture of contemporary art. We believe that the music he left behind will continue to echo, conveying the message of perseverance and passion for the younger generations of artists to follow, while also being a valuable lesson for us about caring for the mental health of younger people. Desmond Amafa, widely known in the digital community as an energetic creative face. This artist used his generous personality, witty way of speaking, and passion for technology to connect millions of audiences from everywhere in the world. He was not merely an entertainment content creator. He was a companion, a person who brought laughter and precious moments of relaxation after a long, stressful working day for the viewer. For mature audiences, even though they might not be too familiar with live streaming platforms, if looking from the angle of the connection between human and human, one will see in him a sincere desire to be listened to and understood. The sorrowful event took place in mid-June 2019, when the final signals from him were recorded in the Manhattan Bridge area. After many days of lost contact, making the online community shake and organizing large-scale search campaigns, hope was extinguished when his body was found in the cold East River. The image of the personal items left on the bridge became a symbol of a pain that young people must face in the digital age. That is the loneliness in a world too connected, where virtual likes sometimes cannot fill the voids of the soul that are increasingly growing larger. Looking back at the journey of this artist, our memory vault not only feels sorrow for a young talent, but also reflects on the responsibility of the community in supporting each other. We believe that behind the radiant frames on the screen sometimes are silent battles that the artist must bear on their own. His departure is a serious wake-up call about the importance of building substantial relationships in real life. Our Memory Vault hopes our audience will always set aside a quiet moment to empathize, to care for those around them, because behind the smile of anyone can be stories that, if not listened to, will forever become the painful secrets of our era. Dear friends, the journey back to the memories of 18 figures has closed. The stories that our Memory Vault has shared are not only the pain of loss, but also valuable lessons about love, valuing human worth, and the importance of practical connection in life. We hope through this video you have had precious contemplative moments with your family and loved ones. If you find this content meaningful, please do not hesitate to hit the subscribe button. Like and turn on notifications to be the first to accompany us on the next memory journeys. Wishing you a truly peaceful, happy, and warm time with your family. Goodbye, and see you again in the next video.